The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us.
First of all, the hardcore legend, Sabu, passed away.
Yeah.
There is so much to the story that I don't have time to explain.
Okay.
But dude, related to the Iron Sheik, and he wrestled in some of the best matches I've seen, live or on TV. He's a genius of the skies.
Okay.
He's fucking suicidal, homicidal maniac, and he points at the sky. Rest in peace, Sabu, man. We're going to miss you, brother. You were fucking dope. All right. The New York Knickerbockers. Yes, that's the name. Look it up.
What, did somebody doubt you recently?
Just people don't understand that, that's the name.
Yeah, they just think, it's just Knicks.
I mean, it is the Knicks now, just like
well,
Old Miss is the Sip. Come on now. But yeah, they were the New York Knickerbockers. So they do what they always do. Actually, no, they don't. No, you know what? Let's call it like it is. Indianapolis is a better team.
Yeah.
Defensively, because Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns don't know how to play defense.
No.
They could fill up the score sheet. They will score lots of points, but they can't play defense, which is why those last few games, the Knicks were able to win because they switched out. They put their defensive guys in and gave Brunson and Towns a break.
Right.
And they were able to slow them down. I'm not into plus minuses in NBA. I don't really understand it. But those defensive guys were like a +4, where Brunson and Towns were.
You saw it in game one when Brunson got in foul trouble, and so they took him out, and then they went on a run.
Right,
then they brought Brunson, and with that, it just seemed like Indiana figured out how to play Brunson, and to keep.
And the scary part is Brunson was still scoring between 20 and 30 points a game.
Yeah,
I bet he averaged 27 points a game. I'm not going to look it up because I don't give a shit.
But you contain him, keep him from reaching 40, or at least keep him from getting on those streaks where then everybody feeds off of him.
Correct. Here's a perfect. Here's this series in a nutshell. The Knicks were able to slow Halliburton down.
Yeah.
And they still had other guys dropping 20 and 30 points.
I hate Halliburton.
So do I. He is the new villain. So the Knicks are close.
They're almost taking a page out of the Rangers playbook. Every year you get closer and closer.
So and they have. They've made the playoffs. There were a couple of. They've made the playoffs 3 straight years. Have now lost in the second round twice, and now they've made the conference finals.
Right.
2 wins away from the. It just seems like Indiana's knocked them out the past 2 years. That's going to be the club. It's not the Celtics.
No, yeah.
And don't get me started on the fucking injury with the Celtics. I get it. But the Knicks were beating them anyway. So I good job. I wasn't expecting them to win the NBA championship this year, but well done. It was a good watch.
And now they're going to challenge them. Getting out of the way is going to challenge all the networks and NBA fans of you're having an Oklahoma versus Indiana.
Somebody's going to win their first championship. Good on
Correct,
them. Because Oklahoma. Did Seattle ever win one? They won one back in the 70s, right?
Yeah, it was like 79,
right.
78,
okay.
79. Yeah.
But they are not the Supersonics. They are a completely new organization, right? The team was sold and moved.
Yeah.
They do not carry like Carolina thinks.
Well,
and that's hockey.
Yeah. No. No. I mean, like
they're
it's
treated. They're
it's still
treated like an
this,
expansion team.
No, I mean they're considered. I mean, an organization that moved.
Yeah, but everything I've read said that they have never won a championship, and I'm thinking the Sonics won a championship.
They've never won one since they've been in Oklahoma.
Give me a fucking break. No, I'm talking organizations, because they were like, oh, we've got 3 organizations that have never won, and then the Knicks who haven't won since the 70s. And I was like, no, the Sonics won.
I think they did.
Whatever. Good on you, Oklahoma City. If I'm in Seattle, I am salty. Although it doesn't matter. They've recycled all that now. I think it's hilarious that their big three now are bigger than, was it KD, Russ, and the Beard?
Yeah.
Harden?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got close but could never win.
No, I mean, that was the Supersonic tradition.
Yeah, I guess the question is, I hope that the Knicks don't do that. I don't think so. I don't know if Tibbs is the right guy. Tibbs did this with Chicago.
Yeah.
But we never know where Chicago would have been, because then Derrick Rose ended up getting hurt during that
all
run.
the time, yeah.
So we'll see. I hate the fact that New York media, which I'm used to it, immediately went to this is Tibbs' fault. He didn't adjust, and Rick Carlisle outcoached him. Well, of course Rick Carlisle's going to outcoach him. Rick Carlisle's fucking Rick Carlisle. Give me a fucking break. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But he...
But that's New York's solution to everything.
I know.
Get rid of the coach, manager.
I mean, we just did it with
Right.
Laviolette, and then went with Pittsburgh's manager, because the Penguins won a lot.
Sully's gonna take us.
Maybe he'll be the one.
Yeah.
Good ride. Good job, kids.
Yeah.
Hope to do it next year. It was fun.
It's fun.
It's been always.
I might actually tune into these finals, like you said. It's like
I will.
It'll be, or at least fourth quarters.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I just want to see SGA. Is that what they call the kid there?
I think so. Yeah.
And Halliburton go head to head.
Yeah.
Because Brunson and Halliburton never truly went head to head, because they always had different defenders on them.
Yeah.
But they went shot for shot in some of those games, which was fun. Fun. But the Knicks always blew it in the second half because they were getting run out of the building.
Yeah.
Kept it close till halftime, and then exhausted by the fourth quarter.
And I mean, they were, teetering on exhaustion the whole playoffs, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's because Tibbs runs like his starting 7-man rotation at this point.
Yeah.
And Indiana's running 9 and 10 guys out on the court.
Right. Well,
and
the team that enters the playoff and plays from behind is never destined to win.
Nope.
Yeah.
Knicks, if Knicks win game 1 of this series, they're in the finals right now. I will say that.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Like the Cardinals back in 2004. If you stop a train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I watched highlights of, was it 2005 against Texas? Freeze hitting the home run? Game 6?
No, that was 2011.
Was it?
Yeah.
Freeze hits the
So
triple, drives in 2 runs.
Hits the walk-off home run in Game 6, and then Game 7, he was like two hits off the outfield wall.
Okay, that's what I watched. That
driving in all that's why he was the World Series MVP.
People were talking about one of the greatest World Series ever played.
Yeah, I mean it was nailed. Yeah,
only because there were
particularly when Game 6 went into extra innings.
Yep.
And Game 7 was it was like in the 8th when the Cardinals blew it open.
Again, baseball, love it.
Yeah.
That just came across my feed.
I mean, like back then, I felt bad for the Rangers. Now they have their World Series, so I don't feel terrible about it. But
you know how I feel about the Rangers?
No, you hate them.
They can fuck right off. We own them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Did y'all face off when they won the World Series?
No, remember we got knocked out in the wild card or some shit. Right. Or the play-in game. No, we ain't make it that far. We're like the We're like every other New York team.
Yeah.
Where we slowly step, and we made the World Series. So now this year is either going to be are we going to win it, or next year we're going to be out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Not this coming year because we're too fucking good.
But then you get to fire Boone.
Oh my God.
We'll come back to that.
We will. All right, so I'm going to save the Champions League final. We will talk about.
Oh, come on. I mean,
Okay, fine. Inter Milan got
curb stomped.
ass raped.
Yeah.
On world telly.
Which, it's funny because I mean, like they're a good squad. I don't consider the French league that much more superior than the Italian league.
They're not.
But I think it's just funny with like PSG of all the things that they tried, like superstar managers, bringing in superstar athletes, and then again
having arguably the three best players on the planet at the time on the same team.
Yeah, and they couldn't do it, and then they put together a solid squad,
youthful.
Yeah,
the youngest squad,
and they dominated the championship game.
Doué, this fucking kid's gonna be a menace. And I don't know if he plays the same position as Mbappe. The thing with Doué, though, is Luis Enrique had
was
him
he a winger?
Yeah. But he could also play in the... Like, that's the beauty of Enrique's system is...
Yeah.
The top 3 or 4 can play every position, and they do in a game because they all recognize, like, okay, this guy's coming forward, I'm dropping back. They had their left back, Hakimi,
so
in the other team's box.
It's more like Phil Jackson's triangles.
Correct.
Than
like if someone
Cruyff's
leaves a space, someone leaves a space, you fill that space.
Right.
Even though the triangle's over here.
So you might end up out of your original position, but then you're still
Which is how you end up with a left back in the box, offensive box, and your forward playing left back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking beautiful to watch. It really was. It was a... Really, WWE? Really? They need dicks. Which was interesting to watch and beautiful to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
The opening kickoff was fucking hilarious. Instead of passing it back and keeping possession, dude booted it toward the corner flag for a throw-in for the other team. The announcers went, "What the fuck just happened?" But then they pressed, and 6 minutes later they scored.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want the fucking ball here. I want it down there.
Put it in the other end.
Yeah, I'm going to take it from you. It's like rugby.
or like, like PE football.
Right. Exactly. Like, I don't want the ball here. I'm going to throw it there. I'm going to stop you in like 2 plays, and then I'm going to score. And that's what they did. And then they toyed with them the rest of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were up.
They were up 2-0 at half.
Right.
And it looked like it could become a game because Inter, like the last 5-7-ish minutes of the first half, Inter were pushing for a goal.
Yeah.
Gigi Donnarumma, probably the greatest goalkeeper playing right now, made a save or two, but second half, bro, they just carved them open.
Yeah.
They could have scored 8.
Yeah, no, I mean, they kind of held back. It's one of the things, like, I don't know. I would be curious to know from, like, a player's perspective what it's like when you get, so you make it out of your group, and then you go to this, one home, one away aggregate, and then you play one match for the championship. And again, that would have been, and again, PSG seemed like they were playing with that mindset of like, okay, we got to drive up the score in case we got to go back.
No, they just.
But it was like,
I think that's just the way that they play.
Yeah,
like that. It was Bielsa's system, like with all 93 or higher rated players is what it is.
And the following segment has been brought to you by the Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.